good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you're marking this. I hope you are really having a safe day. Let's begin. Today my presentation is clearly about Netflix, and as we can see here, Netflix has changed throughout the years, from what it used to be to what we currently know it to be now. Once upon a time, generations ago, accessing movies, TV shows, documentaries, and videos in general was a bit different to how it is today. Reed Hastings, a movie watcher, rented a movie from Blockbuster. Now picture this. It is the 90s. Blockbuster is a massive corporation renting movies to customers all over the world, generating millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars through renting these movies. Reed Hastings was one of these customers. Now, on one particular occasion, Reed walked into Blockbuster, rented a movie, and then he went out of the movie and realized that he was going to return it. Once he returned it, he was faced with a $40 late fee from Blockbuster. He then decided that he doesn't want to be faced with any more late fees for returning movies late because he had forgotten them or any other issue that may occur. So he teamed up with a close friend of his named Mark Randolph, and both of them used their skills to found what is now known as Netflix, whereby Reed Hastings used his executive software engineering background and Mark Randolph used his executive marketing background to come up with the corporation. So as we can see here, Blockbuster provided Hastings with a late fee payment, which then led to the rise of Netflix, which was quite different to how it is today. Now, for the 90s users and early 2000 users of Netflix, it was quite different than how it is today. As you can see here, these are envelopes. The founders initially made it where customers rent a movie, then it transformed into a platform where customers would pay a monthly subscription fee and receive CDs in the mail through these envelopes right here. However, from 2007, it was the beginning of the streaming platform whereby it now caters to people all around the world, even with different languages. Netflix's management structure is particularly unique compared to other major corporations. Rather than having a specific pyramid structure, as we can see in this photo here, where there is a big boss, and then the other bosses, and then other employees in the corporation, Netflix has opted for a more flat management structure, whereby there is a so-called big boss at the top that majority of the company's employees go back and turn to when they want to have ideas or anything else. This means that employees of all hierarchical levels have access to executive managers and the board of directors, which also means that employees from all the business's positions share their ideas without fear of rejection. However, we will now come to see that this is not really the case, as during COVID, Netflix had many controversies occur, specifically within regards to their employees. Now, there is no employee that would want to feel unwanted. However, how would you feel if the company you worked for advertised themselves as a so-called fun and so-called encouraging place to work at, when in reality they were laying off employees slowly, left, right, and center, or under your nose without you even realizing it? This was something that left some laid-off Netflix workers feeling fearful and anxious as they lost their jobs without any notice in 2022 due to their desire to, it might be said, add more diverse content to address socio-political issues that were happening around the world at the time, especially within regards to COVID-19 and any other conflicts happening around the world. While Netflix performed the layoffs to prevent global controversy and boycott of their platform, the employees were left looking for new jobs and ways to be able to afford their next rent payments, while the board of directors at Netflix were able to sit comfortably within their homes. This was despite the fact that Netflix initially advertised these jobs as a much higher salary compared to other people, where, for example, they may have said, it might be said, oh, come to Netflix, you will earn tens of thousands over what you might earn at a different company. However, these employees later found themselves being laid off slowly and not even earning the extra money that Netflix may have promised. It wasn't clear in the article, but from what other employees have said online, it isn't really what it seems. So, to divert people's view away from the layoffs, they dedicated a sum of money to the Black Around organizations during the Black Lives Matter protest And for this reason, Netflix still maintains a so-called positive view amongst society, whereby they continue to promote that they are an organization that, it might be said, emphasizes the importance of employee satisfaction and retention and the like. However, when 150 employees are laid off without them getting much notice, it is quite, it might be said, difficult to come up with that conclusion, especially since these employees have lives, and I'm sure that they've gone somewhere else. It's just, as where I work, I would not want to be laid off without being told. And this is my bibliography. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I really do hope you've had a very safe day, and I'll see you soon.